Hi everyone. Today I'm going to be talking about something a little bit different, which is autism spectrum disorder and how it relates to me. It's a little bit more self-indulgent than my usual videos, but I haven't got much of a topic to discuss and I haven't made a video in a while, so I thought it might just be a little bit of fun to take a autism spectrum disorder test for adults together. I'll edit it down so it's not too long and find out once and for all whether I have autism or how much I have autism. The reason I'm taking this test is because since I started my channel, a few commenters have suggested that I might have high functioning autism, and these people claim to have autism themselves. They're not making fun of me or just talking flippantly. These are people who know about autism. I don't think I'm autistic. I think it's just the way that I make my videos that has aroused these suspicions in a small number of people. But when my mum was watching my videos, she said that she saw some comments saying that I might have high functioning autism, and she said that she thought there might be some credence to it. And again, I think she's wrong, but it is my own mother and it is a few people, so I thought I'm just going to try to put the suspicions to rest once and for all. So I'll leave a link to the test that I'm doing. The first question is, do your family members lovingly refer to you as the eccentric professor of the family, even though you don't work anywhere near academia? No, nothing like that. Do you enjoy inventing your own words and expressions that might seem quirky to others? I wish there was a strongly disagree, mildly disagree sort of spectrum. There's only yes or no to all of these. I'm going to say yes because I do sometimes do that. Have you always wanted a best friend but never found one? I've always wanted a best friend, but I have found one. And, well, a few, if you can have a few best friends. When you're having a conversation with someone, do you prefer to look at the wall, her shoes, or anywhere but directly into her eyes? Yes, I don't look at people's eyes when I'm talking to them. I look at their mouths and their hair, or just anywhere else except their eyes. Do co-workers say that you speak like a robot? No, nobody says that. Even when you're in a quiet place, like a library, do you find yourself making involuntary noises, like clearing your throat over and over? I think I'm a bit fidgety, but I don't make noises specifically. Are you really, really good at math or music, but struggle to succeed in other areas? I'm not really, really good at math. I have 2 maths A levels, which is more than most people have, and I am interested in maths, but I did get a B and a D in them, so I'm not exactly a genius. I'm just better at maths and physics than I am at any other subjects that I studied at school. Yes or no? I'm going to say yes. I do also play some musical instruments, and I'm pretty good at them, I think, without bragging. Do you have trouble understanding what people mean when they say they're expecting second-hand embarrassment? They feel embarrassed for someone else. Yeah, I know what that is. Do you talk to friends at parties the same way you would talk to co-workers in the office? Yeah. Is your memory like a steel trap even for facts you don't fully understand? I mean, whose memory is that good? If my memory was bad, I wouldn't know it because I wouldn't remember the things I didn't remember. This question is stupid. I'm starting to think maybe this quiz is a little bit silly. What a stupid question. I'm going to say yes. Did bullies target you in grade school? Primary school here in the UK? No, only when I was a little bit older. I was pretty cool in grade school. Do you prefer to play individual games and sports like golf, where everyone works for themselves, instead of team sports and games where everyone works for a common goal? I don't play sports. I play board games. I like cooperative board games and competitive board games, so no, I don't have a preference for one or the other. Are you always bumping into things, tripping over your own feet? Yes. Think about your daily routine. Would you say that you follow the same schedule every day of the week and don't like unexpected events? No. I'm pretty flexible with my schedule and often wake up and go to sleep at different times. Are expressions like curiosity killed the cat or don't count the chickens before they come home to roost confusing to you? No. Do you prefer to read non-fiction over fictional tales? I like fiction, so no. Are you always the last one to notice when a friend has gotten a haircut or made a small change to their appearance? I notice that kind of thing. So no. Finish quiz. Let's see what it says. I scored 41%. It doesn't have any benchmarks for what is a positive score or a negative score. I guess that means I'm 41% autistic. If you answered yes to a number of questions, it's possible that you are suffering from some symptoms of autism spectrum disorder. I never thought this was a conclusive test to begin with. Well, that didn't take very long. Let's try another one. This one has definitely agree, slightly disagree, and definitely disagree. So already this test is better than the other one. If I try to imagine something, I find it very easy to create a picture in my mind. Yes, definitely agree. I often notice small sounds when others do not. No, I don't do that. I usually notice car number plates or similar strings of information. I don't know if I do that more than normal or not. Yeah, I sometimes notice those things. Slightly agree. Other people frequently tell me that what I've said is impolite, even though I think it's polite. Slightly agree. When I'm reading a story, I can easily imagine what the characters might look like. No, I generally don't look at things like that. I don't think about characters' appearances when I read stories. I'm fascinated by dates. I'm guessing that doesn't mean the dried fruit. Fascinated? No. In a social group, I can easily keep track of several different people's conversations. Yeah. I find social situations easy. Slightly agree. I tend to notice details that others do not. Slightly agree. I would rather go to a library than to a party. It depends on the party, but slightly agree. I find making up stories easy. Yeah, definitely agree. I find myself drawn more strongly to people than things. Slightly agree. I tend to have very strong interests which I get upset if I can't pursue. No, I have a lot of minor interests. I enjoy social chit-chat. I don't like small talk, but I like chatting. I'm fascinated by numbers. Numbers, no. Maths, yes. Slightly agree. No one's fascinated by numbers, that's silly. Or maybe autistic people are. When I'm reading a story, I find it difficult to work out the character's intentions. Strongly disagree. I don't particularly enjoy reading fiction. Actually, I really do. Strongly disagree. I find it hard to make new friends. Slightly agree. I find it easy to read between the lines when someone is talking to me. Strongly disagree. I usually concentrate more on the whole picture rather than on small details. The details of the whole picture. I'm a big picture kind of person. I'm going to slightly disagree. I'm not very good at remembering phone numbers. I'm pretty good at that. Slightly disagree. Some of these are really difficult, the double negatives, to figure out what you're supposed to click on. I usually notice small changes in situations or a person's appearance. Sometimes, yeah. Oh no, I don't usually. This is catching me out. I don't usually disagree. I know how to tell if someone is listening to me is getting bored. Yeah, strongly agree. I'm super sensitive to that. Although that's a toupee fallacy. I don't know how many times someone's been bored and I haven't noticed. How can you know if you're not good at detecting it, how can you know that you're bad at detecting it, if that makes sense? I find it easy to do more than one thing at once. Yeah, agree. When I talk on the phone, I'm not sure when it's my turn to speak. Isn't that everyone? Agree. Strongly agree, actually. All the time. It happens to me all the time. But mostly in conference calls. Who talks on the phone anymore? I am often the last to understand the point of a joke. Sometimes been the case. Somewhat agree. I find it easy to work out what someone is thinking or feeling just by looking at their face. Yeah, strongly agree. I like to collect information about categories of things, types of cats, birds, trains, plants. No. Strongly disagree. I find it difficult to work out people's intentions. Strongly disagree. I mean, that's another toupee fallacy. Toupee fallacy, by the way, is if you don't know, the idea that someone who says, I can always tell when someone's wearing a toupee, they might only be noticing the obvious toupees. They don't go around checking the people who they don't think are wearing toupees, you never know how many toupees you're missing because you only notice the ones that you're noticing. Score my answers. 14 out of a possible 50. Scores 0 to 25 range indicate little or no autistic traits. So there we are. I'm just vaguely interested in the subject. I have a friend who has autism spectrum disorder, a very good friend actually. That was one of the things that I thought might be an indicator of my own autism spectrum disorder, is the fact that I enjoy spending time with other people with autism spectrum disorder. my current leading theory in what might make me slightly peculiar compared to other women of my age, for instance, why I'm an engineer and not something else, why I don't wear makeup, why my face looks the way it does, I think might be due to some sort of, I'm not a biologist, but some sort of prenatal testosterone or something, I think my personality is within the normal range of traits for my gender. I'm not that peculiar, I don't think. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. If there's anything that's strange about me, I think it's definitely a high-functioning abnormality and not something to worry about. But it is sometimes a little bit fun to speculate. So I'll try to make a more classic video soon. I've been reading some interesting books that I can talk about when I finish them, and there's some thoughts I've been having that I'm just trying to kind of finish up and think through properly before making a video on them. So stay tuned. The rest of my videos are not going to continue to be personality tests, so if you didn't like this video, don't worry, this isn't going to be the norm from now on. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.